Hello. Thanks for returning to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get back to the story. Kneeling, Sion asked Sonia if she could hug her. Confused, Sonia nodded, and the other gave her a tight hug. She told Sonia that she was there for her, and that she would always stay by her side if Sonia wished her to do so, and not just her, but everyone, while Hisa and the others watched them worriedly. She also reminded Sonia not to forget it. Sonia smiled while hugging her. She felt warmth and realized she really didn't want to lose that kind of warmth. She thanked everyone and told them that she needed to see Yewa. She also asked Hisa to help her with something first. Sonia is with Yoyu, and they are hurrying since it's already late. She urges him to go faster, and Yoyu says that he is moving as fast as he can since he is carrying her in his arms. Sonia is worried that she took too long to prepare, and that she made the Empress regnant wait for her. Reaching Yewa's chamber, she apologizes for being late. She is informed that Yewa is still waiting for her. With her small bag in her hands, she follows the servant. She is worried that Yewa might get angry with her if she gives her that, but Yoyu asks her that how can anyone get angry over a gift that she made. Yoru even said that refusing her gift is something only someone out of their mind would do. Sonia adds that she will be giving it to the Empress regnant. That's why Yoru should watch his mouth and what he is saying, or he might disappear one day. She was instructed to wait outside the door, but before she could answer, the door opened widely with Yewa all smiles, which even shocked Sonia. Yewa told Sonia that she was waiting for her. Sonia suddenly felt her mind go blank, and she didn't know what to do. She was trembling, but still reached out her hands, giving the gift she had made. Yewa asked her if it was a present for her. Sonia is worried that Yewa might not like her gift, but Yewa takes the pouch from her and opens it. It was Sonia's first time in the kitchen, and she made something with her own hands, using the ingredients that were there. What she gave Yewa was a pouch filled with cookies. Sonia thought that she couldn't guarantee how they tasted, but she would like to apologize for how she'd been acting in front of Yewa. She worked hard to bake the cookies. Yewa thanked her sweetly and told her that she would make sure to savor every last bit of it. She even asked her if Sonia made them with her small hands, and when she learned to bake. She is so proud of Sonia and makes sure to tell her that. She told Sonia that they should talk inside and dragged her. Sonia knows that Yewa will no longer hold her in the same way after that night. Seated face to face, Yewa asked Sonia why she wanted to see her. She told Yewa that there was something that she didn't know about her. Yewa smiled at Sonia, telling her that there are far too many things that she doesn't know about her yet, which is why she is dying to know, urging Sonia to tell her. With conviction, Sonia told Yewa that she was an illegitimate child with no powers. She did not inherit the Uran clan's power of psychokinesis. Yewa looked at her and sighed, to Sonia's shock. She couldn't believe that was the only reaction she got from the Empress regnant. She added that she was not lying, she really didn't have any powers whatsoever, and that she was completely useless. Yewa seemed to be thinking about it, then smiled at Sonia, asking her if they should go on an adventure to look for her power. Sonia couldn't believe what she was seeing. She asked why Yewa was not surprised, but Yewa asked her back about what. Sonia repeated that she didn't have any powers, but then Yewa's answer shocked her even more. Yewa told her that she was telling her something that she already knew, which is why there was no need to be surprised. Sonia was dumbfounded. She did not expect that Yewa already knew about it. Sonia asked Yewa how long she had known. Yewa told her that it's been a while, and Sonia was shocked by this revelation. She then asked if only Yewa knew about it. She was told that after Ban Ryusuan's assassination attempt, 2 bodyguards had been assigned to protect her, which means most people had already guessed the truth. Sonia realized that she was the only consort going around with 2 guards. Having 2 guards around her is like telling everyone that she doesn't have any special power. She now questions how she could have survived for so long. After everything, she then asked Yewa if she decided to keep her as a consort, as useless as her, by her side. She also asked if she found it amusing to watch a child walk on eggshells, and if she wanted to play house, and pat her on the head for being a good girl. Yewa wasn't able to answer, but then she admitted that perhaps she did find it amusing. She added that she didn't simply want to play house, she wanted to treat Sonia as her child, and that she couldn't help it, because Sonia was so adorable. She also mentioned that she may be lacking in many aspects as a parent, and she might not be able to do much for her, but she could give her piles of gold or fill her palace with jewels. Yewa even offered Sonia to give her the country. Sonia, listening to this, couldn't believe what she was hearing. She wondered if Yewa was drunk, considering Sonia was the only one drinking tea. Sonia told Yewa that she didn't understand, that there was no reason for her to like Sonia so much. Yewa showed her that she was indeed drinking tea too, and not any alcoholic drink that could make her drunk. Back to Sonia, she told her that there was nothing to gain by treating her like that. Yewa grew enraged upon hearing that from Sonia. She questioned where she got that ridiculous idea. She added that where else in the world could she find a child as cute, lovely, and beautiful as her? That she gains plenty by having her living within the palace, even if she doesn't do anything. Hearing that, Sonia confirmed that after what Yewa offered her, like the gold, jewels, and country, it sounded like she really wished to adopt her. Sonia was praying that Yewa would say that she wouldn't and that Yewa draw a clear line, while she was giving her a chance. She wanted to remind Yewa that she can't love anyone. To her surprise, Yewa asked if she would like that. Sonia was shocked to hear that from her. She told her that it's not something that can happen just because she would like it to, but Yewa argued that it would be easy to do. She then told her that she's a consort who came from the Yuan clan, and that she may be young, but even she knows of the relationship between the founding clans and the imperial family. Smiling, Yewa confirmed that she is indeed a smart girl. Sonia, still not done with her counterargument, continued to remind her that she was currently a consort now, and that there was no way she would be able to adopt one of Yewa's spouses as her child. Yewa, determined, told Sonia that she could make it happen. The words of an empress regnant are absolute. It was like a cat and bear arguing. Finally, Sonia agreed to what Yewa wanted, and she assured Sonia that she would definitely make it happen. Since Sonia agreed to it, Yewa warned her that she would scold her if she changed her mind later on. Sonia convincingly assured her that she would not change her mind, addressing her as Your Majesty, but Yewa insisted that she start calling her mother instead. Intensely, Sonia called her mother, too. They ended up both tired from arguing, but Yewa reached for Sonia's hair and ruffled it, telling her how adorable she was. Sonia immediately went on her way, feeling happy, and mentioned there was so much she needed to do. Sonia couldn't believe what was happening. She thought Yewa was such a silly person for adopting her own consort and from the Yuan clan, too. She swore to make fun of Yewa when the time came for her to eat her words. A few days later, she was greeted by Hisa and Sion, who happily called her Princess Sonia. Still sleepy and rubbing her eyes, she asked them, "What?" But then her eyes focused on the room. It was all shining and glimmering. She asked them where she was, and Hisa told her that she was in the palace of the crown princess. Hisa even asked if she was surprised. She then started questioning who the princess was, and her ladies-in-waiting told her that it was indeed her. Yewa had ordered them to move palaces the night before while she was sleeping, because she wanted to surprise Sonia with her new title and palace. They apologized to Sonia for moving her while she was still asleep. Sion was so moved by what was happening. She recalled that it felt like just yesterday, when Sonia entered the palace in her marriage garment. She even congratulated her, but Sonia was still at a loss with what was happening to her. Of course, Hisa, with all her energy, told Sonia that they had a long and busy day ahead, because they had a lot on their schedule. Sonia was shocked to learn that Yewa was able to adopt her and make her a princess. She wondered if no one tried to stop her. In all honesty, there were a few who tried, but they lost when Yewa said with finality that there were no more objections, and she knew they would agree to her cute little Sonia becoming her child. While drying her hair, Sion told Sonia that Yewa had instructed them to inform her that the crowning ceremony would take place after Arian Day. Yewa even promised that it would be very grand and extravagant, and that Sonia should not feel bad about waiting. In Sonia's mind, she didn't feel any negativity. She was in shock about becoming a princess and having her third palace. She no longer knew what to do with all the things that were happening. After she got ready, she was greeted by ladies-in-waiting holding rows and rows of silk fabrics, wishing her good morning. They told her that they would be helping her choose her first Arian Day robe. Sonia asked Yewa how long she had known. Yewa told her that it's been a while, and Sonia was shocked by this revelation. She then asked if only Yewa knew about it. She was told that after Banryu Suan's assassination attempt, 2 bodyguards had been assigned to protect her, which means most people had already guessed the truth. Sonia realized that she was the only consort going around with 2 guards. Having 2 guards around her is like telling everyone that she doesn't have any special power. She now questions how she could have survived for so long. After everything, she then asked Yewa if she decided to keep her as a consort, as useless as her, by her side. She also asked if she found it amusing to watch a child walk on eggshells, and if she wanted to play house, and pat her on the head for being a good girl. Yewa wasn't able to answer, but then she admitted that perhaps she did find it amusing. She added that she didn't simply want to play house, she wanted to treat Sonia as her child, and that she couldn't help it, because Sonia was so adorable. She also mentioned that she may be lacking in many aspects as a parent, and she might not be able to do much for her, but she could give her piles of gold or fill her palace with jewels. Yewa even offered Sonia to give her the country. Sonia, listening to this, couldn't believe what she was hearing. She wondered if Yewa was drunk, considering Sonia was the only one drinking tea. Sonia told Yewa that she didn't understand, that there was no reason for her to like Sonia so much. Yewa showed her that she was indeed drinking tea too, and not any alcoholic drink that could make her drunk. Back to Sonia, she told her that there was nothing to gain by treating her like that. Yewa grew enraged upon hearing that from Sonia. She questioned where she got that ridiculous idea. She added that where else in the world could she find a child as cute, lovely, and beautiful as her? that she gains plenty by having her living within the palace, even if she doesn't do anything. Hearing that, Sonia confirmed that after what Yewa offered her, like the gold, jewels, and country, it sounded like she really wished to adopt her. Sonia was praying that Yewa would say that she wouldn't and that Yewa draw a clear line, while she was giving her a chance. She wanted to remind Yewa that she can't love anyone. To her surprise, Yewa asked if she would like that. Sonia was shocked to hear that from her. She told her that it's not something that can happen just because she would like it to, but Yewa argued that it would be easy to do. She then told her that she's a consort who came from the Yuan clan, and that she may be young, but even she knows of the relationship between the founding clans and the imperial family. Smiling, Yewa confirmed that she is indeed a smart girl. Sonia, still not done with her counterargument, continued to remind her that she was currently a consort now, and that there was no way she would be able to adopt one of Yewa's spouses as her child. Yewa, determined, told Sonia that she could make it happen. The words of an empress regnant are absolute. It was like a cat and bear arguing. Finally, Sonia agreed to what Yewa wanted, and she assured Sonia that she would definitely make it happen. Since Sonia agreed to it, Yewa warned her that she would scold her if she changed her mind later on. Sonia convincingly assured her that she would not change her mind, addressing her as Your Majesty, but Yewa insisted that she start calling her mother instead. Intensely, Sonia called her mother, too. They ended up both tired from arguing, but Yewa reached for Sonia's hair and ruffled it, telling her how adorable she was. Sonia immediately went on her way, feeling happy, and mentioned there was so much she needed to do. Sonia couldn't believe what was happening. She thought Yewa was such a silly person for adopting her own consort and from the Yuan clan, too. She swore to make fun of Yewa when the time came for her to eat her words. A few days later, she was greeted by Hisa and Sion, who happily called her Princess Sonia. Still sleepy and rubbing her eyes, she asked them, what? But then her eyes focused on the room. It was all shining and glimmering. She asked them where she was, and Hisa told her that she was in the palace of the crown princess. Hisa even asked if she was surprised. She then started questioning who the princess was, and her ladies-in-waiting told her that it was indeed her. Yewa had ordered them to move palaces the night before while she was sleeping, because she wanted to surprise Sonia with her new title and palace. They apologized to Sonia for moving her while she was still asleep. Sion was so moved by what was happening. She recalled that it felt like just yesterday, when Sonia entered the palace in her marriage garment. She even congratulated her, but Sonia was still at a loss with what was happening to her. Of course, Hisa, with all her energy, told Sonia that they had a long and busy day ahead, because they had a lot on their schedule. Sonia was shocked to learn that Yewa was able to adopt her and make her a princess. She wondered if no one tried to stop her. In all honesty, there were a few who tried, but they lost when Yewa said with finality that there were no more objections, and she knew they would agree to her cute little Sonia becoming her child. While drying her hair, Sion told Sonia that Yewa had instructed them to inform her that the crowning ceremony would take place after Arian Day. Yewa even promised that it would be very grand and extravagant, and that Sonia should not feel bad about waiting. In Sonia's mind, she didn't feel any negativity. She was in shock about becoming a princess and having her third palace. She no longer knew what to do with all the things that were happening. After she got ready, she was greeted by ladies-in-waiting holding rows and rows of silk fabrics, wishing her good morning. They told her that they would be helping her choose her first Arian Day robe. Everyone is excited. Hisa is talking to another lady-in-waiting while Sonia is sitting at the table. She overhears Hisa saying that they didn't expect their little grass consort to become a princess, and the other lady agrees. Sonia looks at them while holding her cookie. She thinks that her ladies-in-waiting are more excited than she is. She's bored watching them, but they are so happy choosing what she should wear. She looks at the mirror and realizes that she looks so young, maybe even younger than Gowan. Additionally, she notices that for some strange reason, her face looks very similar to how she looked in her previous life when she was young. She thinks that if she were truly a child born and raised in this world, she might have been happy with the situation. She would have been touched that Yewa wanted to become her mother. But then she realizes she's actually an adult in a child's body. She ponders how someone as old as herself could be her parent. Mirini may not be human, but he acts more like an adult than both Yewa and Garam. She is conflicted about whether she needs to call them mother and father now. Still looking in the mirror, she considers that maybe they'll treat her less like a child if she tries to look mature, or makes a dignified expression. She attempts to do so, but it ends up looking cute instead. That's precisely why they treat her like a child. Hisa appears behind her holding a few clothes, asking her which color she likes better, purple or gold. Both colors represent the imperial family, and Yewa ordered them to use as much of it as they need for her robes. Sonia tells Hisa that she likes purple, but admits she doesn't know much about clothes, so she'll leave it up to the person in charge. Hisa agrees. They move from choosing the fabric for her robe to selecting accessories. They want an accessory that will chime every time she moves. Sonia is worried that she will have to wear a very heavy wig like the ones you see in dramas. She doesn't want to, she'd rather wear a pineapple than a heavy wig. One of the ladies-in-waiting runs to get a box, telling her that it contains the best gift. When she opens it, she finds a gold hairpin, just like the one she returned to Mirini, the dragon hairpin. She reaches for it and holds it in her hands. The accessory is only given to imperial family members with the Aryan name. She is informed that it was made with the second biggest wishing stone, next to Yewa's, which is why it is so beautiful. Sion told them that since her crowning ceremony hadn't happened yet, she was worried, but she was glad that she was given the dragon hairpin already. Hisa asked Sion why she was worried, even though it was rushed. Sonia had already received the crown princess's palace, and even the imperial title. Sonia stared at the hairpin. In front of Yewa, she was then told that she would be called Princess Kanghe from then on. Kang stands for peace, and he stands for happiness. Curiously, Sonia asked why Yewa did not use the character that stands for flower. Most of the palaces, animals, and consorts that Yewa favors have flower in the name, like Flower Virtue Palace, Flower Oath Palace, and Flower Mountain Palace. Yewa looked at her proudly, telling her that her princess is a very smart child. She knelt down in front of Sonia and told her that she didn't need to vie for her favor. All Yewa wanted was for Sonia to be happy and comfortable, which is why she gave that name to her. She asked Sonia if she liked it, and Sonia stared at Yewa. Sonia means dark mountain. She was probably named with random characters that came to mind, but now, someone made a sincere effort to give her a good name, and she feels better than she thought she would. Back with her ladies-in-waiting, Sion informed the others that they needed to dress her in a way that would emphasize the hairpin, ensuring that nobody questions her legitimacy as a princess. They all agreed, even suggesting that she dress in a manner that would showcase it from afar. She realizes that Gyun is jumping for joy upon hearing that his daughter became a princess, and Yewa is probably jumping around for no reason. Another realization hits her. Up until now, she was just a consort, but suddenly she was adopted to be the crown princess of the country. That means she would need to start taking lessons as Yewa's heir. And Sonia is never wrong. She thought she wouldn't need to attend these meetings after becoming a princess. Yet here she is, in a meeting, realizing her plans to play around until Ariane Day have gone down the drain. She is so sleepy attending these kinds of meetings. The meeting was about to end when someone caught their attention. One of the consorts knelt down before Yewa. It was Bikan. There's an issue in the north, and he was asking for Yewa's help. However, other consorts didn't feel the need to assist. They mentioned that their finances were already tight, because they were preparing for Ariane Day. Additionally, all the other territories were suffering due to the bad harvest of the year, which is why they couldn't send any provisions to the north again. Without giving up, Bikan mentioned that his father had contemplated it for so long before asking for help. The people of the north would starve to death if she didn't show them any compassion. He pleaded for Yewa's mercy. As all of this was happening, Sonia looked around, thinking that if there's no power that can make the land fertile, she would like to ask that. However, she noticed that the situation didn't look good. Someone suggested that if there are no provisions they can spare for the north, why don't they simply increase the harvest within the central region? It was the flower consort, Choun. Consort Churn's suggestion seemed akin to proposing that merely sending officers could miraculously solve the agricultural woes, a notion that struck Sonia as overly simplistic, akin to suggesting that academic success could be guaranteed by mere textbook reading. Despite this, Sonia conceded that Churn's idea wasn't entirely without merit. Additionally, she couldn't help but observe a certain charisma about Choun that seemed to captivate those around her. Yewa's inquiry about replenishing their water supply prompted Choun to suggest seeking assistance from the Suan clan. However, the representative from the Suan clan cautioned that controlling rain required delicate manipulation, not achievable through sheer human effort alone. Even invoking the aid of the giant serpent, revered by their clan, would prove futile. Churn's reference to a past feat by the Haeyeon clan head, who purportedly summoned hail for 3 consecutive days in Sanyu province, seemed to imply that such extraordinary weather manipulation might be within reach. As Sonia observed the dynamics in the discussion, she noticed Choun subtly mocking the Suan clan by highlighting their distant connection to the Haeyeon clan, implying their relative weakness. This behavior hinted at potential conflict brewing between the two factions if such provocations continued. Despite Seora's vastness resulting from its unification of the eastern continent, its lack of fertile land and scientific knowledge compared to the real world led to perpetual struggles in the northern regions, where poor harvests were commonplace. Dependency on irrigation made water a critical resource, and the imminent threat of drought loomed large over the fields. Amidst the incessant arguing between Choun and the Suan representative, Sonia empathized with the concubine seeking assistance. Feeling a sense of helplessness in the escalating dispute, she contemplated if there might be an alternative solution to the pressing issue. Despite her attempts to interject or excuse herself from the conversation, she found herself overlooked and ignored by the others. With a deadpan expression, she raised her hand, bemused by the lack of attention given to her thoughts and opinions. Exhausted from the futile attempts to voice her thoughts, Sonia felt a sense of relief when Garam finally intervened, silencing the cacophony of consorts. With all eyes now on her, Sonia glanced at Garam, who offered her a supportive thumbs up, signaling encouragement and approval. She cleared her throat and began speaking. She asked if it's possible to plant hardier crops, like potatoes or sweet potatoes. They use less water than rice and grow well in cold weather. It was quiet, so she repeated what she said about the potatoes, and now everyone was looking at her. She added that they should grow fine even in the cold northern provinces, and eating just one fills the stomach. Everyone remained silent until someone broke the silence, asking what kind of mysterious plant she was referring to, and if such a crop existed, he would like to know more about it. Now Sonia was wondering why they didn't know what potatoes were, or maybe they are called something else. She explained that they are plants with edible roots, and their stalks can be cooked too by roasting and boiling them. After the explanation, Sonia realized that no one knows what she is talking about. Suddenly, Choun laughed, and Sonia looked at her. She told Sonia that she has quite the imagination, and the future of Seora seems to be so bright. She even added that Sonia should have remained in bed at the early hour if she wanted to keep dreaming. But she commended Sonia for dragging herself to attend the meeting. Sonia gets pissed with what she said, and even the other consorts begin to talk about her and how great her imagination is. Sonia just smiled. She knew that Choun wants her to just shut up and go back to sleep. But Sonia said to her slave, who wants to be attending the boring meeting in the first place. She then reached on the snack in front of her, and shut herself up and just eat. Annoyed with her. On the other hand, Mirini noticed what happened and didn't like it. He called Churn's attention and asked her how old she was, to which she answered that she's already 22 years old. He then told her that she is 14 years older than Sonia, and she should teach her in a more gentle manner since Sonia is still very young. Everyone went silent after what Mirini said. Sonia is pleased with what Mirini said. Satisfied indeed. She is still a growing sprout and needs more TLC, and because it is so quiet, she starts feeling sleepy all of a sudden. She was about to close her eyes, when she heard Yewa's voice grabbing Churn's attention. It was dark and menacing, and above all, in a commanding tone. She herself flinched when she heard it. She looked at Yewa and thought that the Empress Regnant is indeed mad. She might be benevolent most of the time, but she's also good at drawing lines. She might have thought that Choun crossed one. She was about to say something when Yeoryu interrupted them, picking Sonia up. Yeoryu carried Sonia in his arms, informing Yewa that she was sleepy, and that it was her nap time already. Yewa promptly allowed them to leave the meeting, but before they departed, she addressed Sonia, saying, "Well done today, Princess Kanghee," emphasizing the title Princess Kanghee. Sonia was about to respond when Yeoryu hurriedly said goodbye and dashed out of the hall. Despite Sonia's attempts to ask him to slow down, he seemed oblivious to her request. As they strolled through the gardens, Sonia's mind churned with contemplation, prompting her to request a pause from Yeoryu's embrace so she could traverse the path on her own. Amidst the tranquility of the surroundings, her thoughts were drawn to the stark absence of robust vegetation in this world, a deficiency mirrored in the fare she consumed. Lost in her introspection, she barely noticed Yeoryu and Sion trailing behind her, absorbed in their own observations of the lush foliage. Suddenly, a distant voice shattered the silence, calling out Sonia's name with urgency. Startled, she turned to see a servant approaching, their countenance awash with tears. Perplexed by the unexpected encounter, Sonia halted, her gaze fixed on the distraught figure standing before her, bracing herself for the revelation about to unfold. Hello there, just taking a quick break. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps boost my channel's algorithm. Now, let's get back to the video. Thank you. The woman's tight embrace caught Sonia off guard, and as she looked into her tearful eyes, Sonia struggled to recall who she might be. With a trembling voice, the woman expressed her concern, mentioning that she had cared for Sonia before her time in the palace, and had been worrying about her well-being ever since. Sonia couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty. Was this woman truly shedding tears for her? Sion and Yeoryu, sensing the emotional tension, moved closer, ready to intervene if needed. Despite her confusion, Sonia couldn't deny the possibility that this woman genuinely cared about her, enough to seek her out in the palace. But of course, that is not true. While hugging her, the woman whispered in her ear that the head of the Yuran clan, who is her father, has been constantly thinking about her. That disappoints Sonia. She was wrong. She was tired, flopping down onto her bed, while he lectured her about changing her clothes before lying down. She just covered her ears. She had a lot of things to think about. One of them was about her father, Gyun. She was starting to think that he was being too quiet, but now he is back, and it must be related to her becoming the princess. The pawn he threw away as trash became an heir of the empire. Surely he would like to check on her. In the original story, Gyun Yuran was the biggest reason why Sonia was killed. He's the one who pushed Sonia into hating the other consorts and them into hating her. In the novel, as soon as Sonia settled into the palace, he came crying through the palace doors, hugging her with tears running from his eyes, telling her how sorry he is for being a bad father and only visiting her late. He reasoned that the other consorts kept him from her, even though the other consorts are in the same position as Sonia. He made sure that not even his throwaway pawn would see his true face. He would come to shower Sonia with affection from time to time, so that she wouldn't be able to turn him away should she gain any influence within the palace. If only the real Sonia noticed the glance that her own father is giving her, she wouldn't be tricked so easily. Thanks to Gyun's actions, they appeared to be a loving father-daughter pair to others. She is glad that up until now, he still did not notice the changes in her. In case that happens, it will not be a good thing and it may cost her life. She is now in turmoil, thinking of ways on how she can get Gyun Yuran off her back. Compared to him, she is just an ant as per Sonia. The power of psychokinesis can split the sea in half or lift a mountain. If Gyun wants, he could even crush the palace and kill the empress regnant. The only reason he doesn't do so, and instead employs tedious methods, is that everyone is madly in love with Yewa, or maybe he's also influenced by her power. Either way, Sonia knows that she doesn't have the ability to keep Gyun away on her own. She was still busy thinking when Hisa carried her like a burrito in her arms. Sonia told her that she's not even treating her like her master, but Hisa smilingly answered her that they are shuddering in fear at her authority. In this context, I think Hisa really loves Sonia and treats her like a baby. Sonia told her that she doesn't feel like changing into her nightclothes, but Hisa told her that she just needs to stay still and they will take care of everything. Standing there, Hisa and the other lady-in-waiting start changing her clothes. Tell me she's not cute. After all of Hisa's shenanigans, she went back to her bed still with no idea of what to do with her father, Gyun. She then decided that she will just ask for help if needed since her situation now is better than the real Sonya's. She is thinking that since she is now a princess, Gyun will definitely make her the empress regnant, so he can control and order her around. He'll take his time doing that. So she needs to find a way while there's hope. Looking outside, Sonya is sure that the meeting is already over, and she will be having a guest soon. When someone Yewa treasures is insulted, she makes the other person apologize in person. She's pretty sure that Consort Choun will be visiting her soon. Another thing that she can't believe is that people in the world where she is think that hardy plants are just her imagination. That is something that she did not even imagine. After much realization, she remembered that potatoes and sweet potatoes come from the Americas, and since Seoul is based on an Asian country, it is possible that they haven't been imported yet. Rolling in her bed, she thought that if the hardy plants really don't exist, and they can't solve the shortage problem. In the end, the possible answer to the shortage is if the nobles open their food storage. Doing that will result in the 7 founding clans to revolt, and not even Yewa can handle that. It will be dangerous for Yewa if they hold a grudge against her. If the power of the imperial family gets known, they might even force a regime change. And Sonya knows that she could be the next empress regnant, not that she plans to. She is questioning what the dragon is thinking. The dragon must have had all the clan's powers, so it would have been unmatched in strength. But why does it have to bless a specific human with such a useless power? She is now asking the dragon, what is anyone supposed to do with the power to be loved by all? It forces rulers to humor nobles, because they lack real power to pressure them. That she has a guest. Sonya asks who it is, and true to what she was thinking just a while ago, her guest is none other than Consort Choun. Just now, the said consort is sitting in front of her sipping her tea. Sonya is just watching her, and Choun even compliments the tea and the teacups, saying they're pretty. Sonya deadpans and answers, "Thank you." It's been 30 minutes already, and here they are sitting face to face, and it seems like Choun is waiting until sunset. Even Gowan, who is standing behind Choun, already has dust on him, because he has been there, not even moving an inch, and possibly, he will turn into a stone sooner or later. Sonya couldn't take it anymore and asked her directly if she was there to apologize to her, which almost made Choun spit her tea. Luckily, Sonya was able to hold a saucer in front of her face to avoid it. She continued, stating that she was there because Yewa asked her to apologize to Sonya. Furthermore, she is sure that Mirani and Garam also told her to do so. Choun was shocked when she heard that from Sonya. She couldn't even believe it. In Choun Yomayan's story, The World of Women, she is the sole daughter of the powerful Yomayan clan. She is used to being the center of attention, thanks to the Yomayan clan's power of bewitchment. She has enjoyed a narcissistic life full of love and praise due to how much people showered her with affection. Up until she was acknowledged for her talents and became the child companion of the crown princess, she thought the world would always be hers. But life in the palace was different from what she imagined. Praises for Yewa were raining down, praising how handsome she was, how she could memorize something so difficult, and other students wishing that they were half as much as Yewa. Hearing all of that, Choun snapped. She complained that all she hears are praises to Yewa, day in and day out. Choun always thinks that she is much better in every way than that dense, idiotic-looking crown princess, which is why she questioned why in the world does everyone love her. She can no longer stand it. She stands up and approaches the young empress regnant. She faces her, and the other kids around them are murmuring, wondering what is happening. They were shocked when Choun angrily asked Yewa if seducing everyone and being praised all the time makes her happy. She was so mad that she is seething. Yewa just smiled at her. Choun is not yet done. She tells Yewa that she is not being praised because she is better than her. The people are just charmed by her pretty face and carefree attitude. Everyone is shocked hearing that, and they are worried. Yewa wasn't able to answer, and just looked at her. She then told Choun that she is really clever. The others refuted that she's always been clever, and Yewa is the one who is dumb. Hearing that, other kids were panicking. Yewa smiled again, agreeing with what Choun said, which shocked the latter. Choun then wonders what is wrong with Yewa. A few days later, a message arrives from the emperor, which Choun does not appreciate. She throws a tantrum, telling her mother that she doesn't want to be a consort. She doesn't want to be the noble consort, or the empress, she wants to be the head of the clan. She insists that she will never go to the imperial palace. So Yeomayan, Choun's mother, tells her that she can shout all she wants, but she doesn't have any choice. Yewa then arrived followed by her attendants, and found Choun seated on the floor. Soa was panicked and asked what she was doing there. On the other hand, Choun is looking at Yewa, not impressed at all, and she even scowls at her. However, Yewa kneels in front of Choun, which shocks everyone in the room. Yewa looks at Choun and asks if she doesn't want to be her consort. Choun, again, throws a tantrum. She tells Yewa that she doesn't want to get married and rot away in a corner of the palace. She insists that she is going to be the head of the Yeomayan clan and live proudly. She even adds that if Yewa is looking to get married, she should look for another person. This causes her mother to faint. Her daughter is talking like that to the crown princess of the empire. Yewa reached inside her robe while telling Choun that she will give her more power than the head of a clan. She gives Choun a pouch and asks her to open it. Opening it, Choun finds a huge black pearl, which she confirms with Yewa. Still not pleased, she tells Yewa that she already has a pile of black pearls and that she doesn't need it. But what Yewa says next makes her stop. Yewa tells her that she will give Choun the sea where it comes from, and suddenly the air shifts. Choun holds Yewa's hands and tells her not to forget to name her the flower consort, to which Yewa agrees. From that moment on, Choun becomes the flower consort, and is named Choun Arian. Although she did not gain a husband, she gained a liege that she would serve forever. And although she did not become the head of a clan, she became the right hand of an empress who reigned over an entire continent. She is contented with her life, not until the youngest child of the Yuran clan enters the palace as a consort. She wonders why the Yuran clan sent such a young child after making a fuss about it. Another thing she notices is that Mirani and Garam visit the young girl often. She is not worried since it's not like they're plotting something. That's what she thought at first, but then the Empress Regnant declares that the grass consort is now a princess of the empire. That declaration shocks Choun. It is even shown that Gyun tells Yewa how honored he is. Choun can't understand why people wasted their strength in making Yewa such an idiot. She is not in favor of crowning Sonia as the princess when it is obvious who is behind her. She does not accept it. That was the life of Choun Arian. She's still sulking, because she was told by the Empress Regnant to apologize to Sonia for what happened in the meeting. She protests, telling Yewa that the meeting isn't a child's playground, but Yewa does not listen to her. She even tells Choun that only their friendship is the reason why she is not being punished. She even asks Choun if she would like her to enact the strict laws of the imperial court on her instead. Against her will, she then realizes that Yewa is right. A mere consort doesn't have the right to look down on a princess like that. She tries to calm herself before reaching the crown princess's palace, but multiple consorts are getting in her way. She is annoyed because it's not like she is going there to harm the princess, who is Sonia. She can't believe that they are all grouping up together to stop her from bullying the princess, when all they usually do is go at each other's throats. Choun thinks it is ridiculous. She wonders what kind of trick Sonia pulled over the whole palace. She orders the servants to stop the palanquin. Full of determination, she thinks that Sonia is just an 8-year-old brat, and she happens to be Choun, the woman who doesn't lose. She decides to warm herself up with the consorts who are stopping her on her way. Just a few moments later, here she is in front of Sonia, complaining about the other consorts, which Sonia smartly consoles her by telling her that the other consorts are not on the same level as Choun. Choun says that it's fine if they aren't, but they should work harder if they lack talent since they are not making any effort. Sonia then opens the topic about the rain, telling Choun that it is hard to control the rain, but Choun insists that there is a precedent of powers controlling the rain, and she is sure it's possible. She says that all they need to do is go there and provide rain during the farming season. Sonia asked why Choun didn't speak about it earlier. Choun reasoned that she knows they don't want to leave the palace and prefer to remain within Yewa's sight. Sonia consoles her again, offering tea and sweets to calm her down. She was about to bite on the cookie when she stopped, starting to think about what she was doing. Complaining to a little girl about all those things and having a sweet tea time moment too.